today, right here, right now. This is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice, and we're going to discover exactly how right here, right now,
on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
I'm Mike Kalowitz here, author of Profit First, brand new book in the works. It's also about money. Can't tell you what it is yet, but it's now officially on the way. Welcome.
More money, more problems?
Oh, yeah. With nasty Biggie B singing away to it. You're listening, my friends, to GMAP stands for Grow My Accounting Practice. This is the show where we teach all accountants, bookkeepers, and coaches who are joining in. All right, Ron, we're here. It's a brand new format to the show with a pre-record. We're starting differently. How you feeling today? It sounds like it's pretty noisy over there.
Yeah, you know, beautiful Main Street, New Jersey, 8 o'clock, start jackhammering the crap out of Main Street, and it's still going. That's why I'm on here, the headset and noise cancellation, so you can't hear it. But it is what it is. Mike, here at Profit First Professional, we're like Marines. We know we're going to face an obstacle, right? We don't run from it. We attack it. And we're going to run through it, over it, around it, under it. We're here to get stuff done. So I'm excited.
I love that. I love that analogy. Today, Mr. and Mrs. Marine listening in, it's all about communication, the verbal judo, perhaps communicating value of what your services are. We have the expert on it. His name is Charlie Price. He's a CPA, has over 15 years of experience in public and private accounting before launching his own consulting firm back in 2018. Since then, he's helped over 200 accounting business owners package, promote, and sell premium monthly engagements. Charlie's expertise focus on guiding accountants to building more profitable and scalable firms. So let's get right into the subject, communicating this. Charlie, welcome to our show.
Oh my.
Hey, what's going on, Mike? Hey, Ron.
You nailed that. You nailed that perfectly. You popped on screen.
Yes, let's do it.
Part of me thought you'd be over there playing your guitar a little bit and jamming out.
Absolutely, man. Rocking out.
Yeah. Hey, so the first question, when it comes to communicating value, my presumption here is people are miscommunicating their value. If that's true, what are the common mistakes that folks are making?
Okay, so first of all, I gotta pause this right here and say it is an absolute honor to be here with you guys, Mike. I read Profit First years ago, and I'm just a big fan of all the work that you guys are doing and just the great things you guys are doing for this industry.
Thanks, brother. Thank you so much.
And ditto, right back at you.
I appreciate that, Ron. Thank you. Yeah, we're all doing transformative work here, and I'm just so blessed, and I appreciate you guys. So, so when it comes to, communicating value, I think, I've gone through, 10 tax seasons. I put in my billable time, right? And it's easy for us to, I think about our effort and our labor as the value that we provide. And just as I've gone through this journey of learning more about value creation, about how to communicate that, how to teaching accountants about this, it's really about the transformations and about the benefits and the transformations and the outcomes ultimately that you are providing for your clients, right?
So people are saying, listen, I'm spending hours on this as opposed to saying, I'm going to get you an accurate tax return completed.
Right.
That's probably a bad example. But when it comes to explaining the value you deliver, what are the elements that we should be speaking to? I understand it's the outcome, but can you give me more detail on that?
Well, sure. Like, I think, like when I hear accountants maybe present their offering, right? They will talk about, we're going to get your tax return done. We're going to get your bookkeeping done. It's very deliverables and features focused. And then they'll, as a sidebar, they might say, and I'll meet with you every month or every quarter. But the funny thing is, getting the data is the laborious part that takes, that can be time intensive, right? To get the data accurate, to get the compliance work done. But there's massive, massive value in that insightful conversation that's much more efficient and much less time, right? And I think that's like it's a huge thing. Your value is not based on your time, but when you are, building that relationship with that client, when you have that conversation with that client, you can understand more about what their goals are, what their challenges are, and help them get there. Not just by telling them and giving them insights, but asking powerful questions.
Okay, so I get that. Now, a lot of our listeners are newer or smaller firms. Um, you talk about the additional advice that they could give after they do the compliance and but what if they don't have that experience? I mean, the only thing that they're really somewhat teaching, right, in college and these courses is how to do the accounting, not how to interpret the accounting and make so to move a business forward. So how does a newer person actually learn how to become an advisor?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic question. Um, I think I think all of us in here, have had some level of imposter syndrome at one time or another, right? Where
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm good enough, right? I know when I started consulting in 2018, I was like, who the hell am I to tell people,
Mm.
to educate people, to tell people what to do, to be a coach or a consultant or whatever. I was sweating through my shirt on social media, doing live streams, and I was nervous as hell. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to do my first sales call. Um, but really, it's not just necessarily about reading a textbook, right? Um, when I think about building that confidence up, it really comes down to two key pieces. Number one is having faith, right? Faith that it's possible, and you get faith by if you're religious, of course, from above, right? But there's also faith from surrounding yourself with the right environment, with the people that have done it before, right? With a
yeah,
with a great mentor that can help guide
Mm.
you and empower you, right? And that helps you to get started, to go from 0 to 1, right? Now, once we've started to get that momentum started, we start to build the second part, which is evidence, right?
mm,
Where we're actually, you know, getting positive feedback, positive results from clients. And, ultimately when we have clients tell us, that we're doing, like the great things and the wins and the awesome things, that helps to build confidence. Right. So it's really those two components in my experience that have been everything. And we can't go into this. You can't go in expecting 10 out of 10 confidence. I think that's what I would say.
no, I love it. I mean, community, mentorship, right? And that's where you're building your evidence. I like that word as well, too. It's building the confidence and also, giving yourself a little bit of a learning curve to get there. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Charlie, one thing I was thinking about is that old, I don't know if it's really an analogy, but story. Someone has a leaky toilet. They call the plumber, and the first plumber can't fix it. He calls another plumber and says, "Oh, I know exactly what the problem is." The other plumber is, changing pipes, doing all this work and can't fix it. Then the new plumber comes and he looks at the wall for about 3 seconds, takes a hammer and slightly taps the wall, and the leak stops. And then he goes, "That's $500." And the customer's like, "It took you 3 seconds." And then his response is, "It took me a lifetime to figure out where to tap the hammer." So there is still the perception of the customer related to time. And I don't think they value our expertise. How do you navigate that when the customer says, "Yeah, but it only took you so long"?
Hmm.
Yeah. I think um, that's a great question, Mike. Not, I think kind of when we make this pivot to starting to think about value added services, we think about like our years of expertise as the driver, right? But I
Mm,
don't even
mm,
honestly, I don't even think our clients care about that, like to a certain extent. What they care about most is, is this person going to help me solve my painful problem, right? So it's really about, first of all, asking the right questions to understand what those challenges and what those goals are, right? Maybe not just in the weeds of like, I'm not happy with my accounting system, but maybe it's, hey, I want to retire in 5 years, and maybe understanding just big picture. I want to be able to retire my spouse. Um, those are things that I don't think we generally are uncovering in our traditional accounting sales process, where it's how many transactions do you have? What
Right.
software are you?
yeah.
It doesn't. You don't figure out right away what those high level goals are, but when we do know that, and we know what the high picture, the high challenges, high level challenges are, um, then we can share in more detail how um, we don't just compile the data and do the compliance work, but how we can be a strategic partner and a good advisor for them to help them achieve those things. And that's where that value shoots through the roof. And to that extent, premium pricing and all that stuff.
So how
I'm sorry, Ron, you go.
Okay. Now, is there a difference in, creating services as in an advisory world, right? Like, so, okay, I know how to price a tax return. I know how to price bookkeeping. How do I figure out how to price advisory, and what am I advising on, and associate a price to that? How do I figure that stuff out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of an art than a science. I really think it can be more of an art than a science. The way that we like to help our clients and guide them in, crafting these premium offers is really through giving them components, generally 3 to 5 components, or a process or a unique methodology, right? And then, doing that consultative sales process of asking questions, finding out what those goals and what those challenges are, and then communicating in the presentation how each of these components of our offer will help them get there. Right?
Where are people making the mistake? Like, where are they giving too much away during their calls, trying to be advisors to demonstrate expertise? Are they leaving, not communicating efficiently? What's some of the issues that you're seeing out there?
Man, I don't know if I mean, mistake's such an interesting word.
Right.
Mm.
I think for sure there's optimizations, and I think everything starts with, we don't see our own superpower, right? Like, we see the effort and the work that we're putting in, and the hours of labor that we put in and our team puts in for the data, the compliance work and getting the data accurate. But we don't necessarily understand the value of that 10-minute phone call that we had with that client that changed the game for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How often should, accountants or bookkeepers be communicating or having conversations with their customers?
I mean, I've seen, with CFO and advisory services, which is, basically what we're helping to craft here. Some people like to do quarterly advisory meetings. I think in the world that we live in today, life changes so fast, especially as an entrepreneur and a business owner, that if you meet every quarter and find out what's going on, you're going to hear probably a completely different story every quarter. Things can change very quickly. So I'm a big fan of monthly touch points at the very least, just to keep that consistency going, and to get that keep that consistent progress going.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm thinking when it comes to communicating value in your services, there's certain customers that may not be receptive to it. They're the commodity purchaser and the accountant's accountant. Do you have a way to vet those folks out, or is there a way to convert them from commodity thinking to value thinking?
Well, I think, there's always a way to educate people, right? One of my mentors used to say, like, leads aren't found, they're created, right?
Yeah.
So, or prospects aren't found, they're created. And I think that comes to mind in, we can leverage pre-sales assets or structured conversations in our sales process to educate them on, how we can provide value, not just with the tax return and the commoditized services, but, getting clear on, hey, we're not just a cookie cutter, Joe Schmo down the street like every other CPA firm. We're your, trusted financial partner that helps you achieve, scaling to 7 figures, like you mentioned you wanted to do this year, and getting your work down from 70 hours a week down to 40 hours a week, right? Like you mentioned, you want.
What are those instances where someone sneaks through that? I love that, because that's a filter. But someone sneaks through. Have you ever noticed, Charlie, that there's indicators that this person, they're the Walmart shopper, they just want the price, and they're not going to be a fit? Is there keywords they're saying? Is there behavioral patterns? Anything you've noticed or suggest we look for?
I don't know. I mean, I think I kind of lean on one key component that we like to look at is, generally, the more revenue that a business is doing, the more value that you can provide for a business. The more revenue, the more profit that a business is doing, is a general rule. You can provide more value in terms of your insights. So, we love, if you're working with clients that maybe are just starting out of the gate, you're likely not going to be able to provide as much value in dollars and cents as a multi 6 or 7 figure business, right? And then there's just personality types. If somebody like you want with this type of service line, not everybody, we should not be trying to push everyone into this service, right? Because it's a very relationship driven service. So if we want to love our business, which everybody that's listening wants to, have fulfillment and love their business, we want to make sure that we are working with the people that we enjoy working with and that fit our ideal personality type, and probably somebody that's coachable and open.
Mm.
So one of the things that I'm seeing in the market, and I'm wondering if you're seeing this as well, that there's been more businesses that have been changing their accounting partners more so these days than ever. Like I'll be talking to our members and they'll say, hey, yeah, they're losing customers, they're enrolling customers. And it seems like I heard a stat that the normal attrition is about 8 to 10% of an accounting bookkeeping company, but I'm seeing the attrition a lot higher than that. Are you saying that as well, or what I mean? Don't tell me it's just our members.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'll be honest. That's not something that I've had come through my radar a ton.
Mhm.
Like I know, generally, I think monthly accounting has been a very strong, in my understanding, retention based service line
Yeah.
where people will tend to be pretty sticky. But maybe that's changed over the last year or two, or it could be going the wrong direction where churn is going up for those services. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Right. What are you seeing as some of the struggles out there?
Struggles in terms of
Growing
just,
their business, the accounting, bookkeeping.
I think what we're talking about today is a very, very important piece. I, you're not just worth your hours, right? You're not worth your hourly rate. It's empowering yourself to better communicate your value and increase the perceived value for your prospects so that you can ultimately charge more, right? And I think a huge pain point is I'm a firm owner. I'm working with a absolute insane number of clients, a high volume of clients, and I'm struggling maybe when it comes to profit margin to get out of the day to day, to get out of the weeds, or to make that key hire that I need to make, or I can't hire at the talent level I want because the profitability is not there.
It's fun. It's funny you say that because, you know, um, I do have, I'm part of a private equity team that is buying and selling accounting firms. And what I'm really seeing is that, they need to be more profitable than they are to get the one multiple that they're all shooting for.
Mhm.
Right? Like it's unbelievable that that some of these firms that are wanting a higher multiple, they're not. And so I'm thinking 25% is a one multiple. How, how do these firms become more profitable? Right, with the customers that they have? I mean, is the upgrade strategy? Is it acquisition? I mean, how do we become more profitable?
I see two key paths, and we've seen success from both of these paths. Um, One client that comes to mind this year that we've worked with in 2024, he had a very nice base of tax clients, of tax preparation clients, and business tax clients. So we set up we helped to craft a advisory offer, right, and set the components on that and how to communicate that, and we priced it um, generally around 3,000 a month for that service. And we ran an upgrade process and an upgrade play for the right people. And
Mm,
he was able to upgrade between 10 to 13 of those clients into $3,000 a month retainer. It was a massive
wow.
revenue
Wow.
burn, massive. So that's one route. That upgrade route is incredible.
But I hear all the time, my current customers, they can't afford this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and
Is that their mindset? That's what
I
I
mean,
hear.
I'm just going to be honest. Like some part of that is a limiting belief. Like to some extent, I'm not going to say every one of your clients is going to drop pull out their card and drop 3,000 a month, right?
Right.
But there's packages like just starting to think this way. We could have 1,500 a month clients. We've had clients that have closed 5,000 to 8,000 a month. So we've seen all of this. It's just opening, like understanding, like taking the accounting hat off of the old way of this is how just focusing on compliance and the traditional way, the traditional firm model, and realizing if I can position this in a more powerful way and be more focused on the goals, the challenges, and outcomes. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but that's so important. It's just what we call a consultative sales approach, and understanding more about those goals and those challenges. That's going to allow you to present your services so that they fit like a glove for your prospects. So I do want to. I did mention there was two forks in the road there. So number one is upgrade strategy.
Yep.
Number two, there's prospects generally aren't calling in directly saying, "Hey, I need an advisor," right? Just like
Right.
people don't generally call up and say, "Hey, I need a business consultant or a business coach." So when it comes to directly bringing in premium clients, it's more of a authority building approach. So how do we build authority? And that's really three pillars there. We need to build awareness so that people know who you are and know that you exist. Authority, which is building that know, like, and trust factor. And then conversion. Do we have a way of moving those people that know, like, and trust us into a sales environment so that we can help them and they can become a client?
Perfect.
Charlie, my job is keeping an eye on the clock, and I hate to say it, we are at our limit of time.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm sure there's more we can explore.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, if they want to explore more with you, is there a way folks should contact you and learn more about what you're doing?
Sure. So I'm on, all the socials. So you can find me on Facebook at Charlie Price. We have a Facebook community called the High Profit Accountant you can check out, and LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
Awesome, guys.
We'll have that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's an honor, guys. And just again, it's so grateful for you guys and the incredible work that you guys are doing for the industry.
No, thanks, Charlie.
Thank
And
you.
listeners, reach out to Charlie. Tell him Ron and Mike said hello. Tell him you heard him on GMAP, and see how he can help you get to these higher billings and more lucrative customers.
And Mike,
Exactly.
let's jam out sometime, man. Okay.
Dude, I am so in for that. I am so in for that.
All right.
All right, brother. Be well.
All right. Thanks.
All right,
Charlie.
Ron, we got to
All
recap
right.
what we learned. You also have an OB Ron. I got a GMAP. We're not doing a trippy question today because Liz ain't here with us. But why don't you share what was your big takeaways from Charlie?
Yeah, the equation that he gave us early on, that the effort in labor equals value, right?
Yeah.
That's the world is flat, Mike. Much like sales minus expenses equal profit.
Nicely done. Nice callback. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here going, holy crap. Yeah. So value is in the results, much like, the real formula is sales minus profit equal expenses.
Yeah.
That's what
I love
took
that.
away from that.
Yeah. One of my favorite things was he talked about having faith. And either from the community you're involved or a religious aspect. But what I heard kind of the overarching theme is the energy. If you surround yourself with an energy that's not supportive of this move to a new standard billing practice, it's going to be really hard or probably impossible. Yeah. You are who you surround yourself with. And I thought that was kind of cool that he brought that up, but that was something I didn't expect.
As well as you're building your evidence, you're building for the new folks out there, each customer, you're building your story, you're building your marketing, you're building your success, your evidence, if you will.
Love it. Yeah. All right, Ron, you got that weapon of yours.
I literally got it, everybody. Right?
Oh, you actually got it right there. If you're watching on camera, he's pulled out a lightsaber that literally lights up. You can't hear because of the microphone, but we can't hear it. Ron's trying. Ron,
it makes noise.
Ron literally, if you're listening to the podcast, Ron just took the lightsaber and put it against his headset mic. Basically, it looked like he was trying to suck down or sword swallow. Easy.
All right,
What's your
guys.
tip?
All right. Value starts at hello, everybody. If you want to demonstrate a better type of customer, then you have to ask better questions. right? And so Profit First Professionals has created a whole framework that positions you to be more the consultative expert, the authority, as Charlie says. When you become the authority, you get to share, you get to dictate. And so if anybody is interested in Value Starts at Hello, that framework, all you have to do is email me at ron@profitfirstprofessionals.com. Hey, Ron, send me Value Starts at Hello. I will personally email it to you.
I love that, Ron.
Yeah.
I can hear explosions going off
Boom.
everywhere. I got one last tip for you. Is the GMAP Now test. If you do this, you will see results. I call it the invisible upgrade. There are services, I guarantee, within your accounting or bookkeeping or coaching practice that you provide without telling the client. You double check your work. You use a third party that's validating something you've researched. You have a compendium of knowledge you pile through, but you don't tell the customer. It's just de facto. I'm telling you, make that invisible offering now visible. Tell the customer about it and adjust your pricing accordingly, because that is your value. So now you have more awareness from your customer, a higher price point, and no extra work. That's the invisible upgrade.
Boom.
Okay.
And if you're listening to this, I just dropped the mic. Okay, the real one.
All right, Ron, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
We're gonna transition to.
Hold on. We're not quite done just yet, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, listeners. Don't forget to review and subscribe to Grow My Accounting Practice podcast so you never miss a wonderful episode of us.
Ron, thank you for doing that. And I want to insist for our listeners, check out profitfirstprofessionals.com. Have a conversation with Ron, have a conversation with another team member here. But let's see if Profit First Professionals is a fit for you in 2025. This is the year that everything changes for you toward more profitability. Again, profitfirstprofessionals.com. You'll see the application button there waiting for you. All right, Ron, we can get out of here. Bye, guys.